Wars.com, and on the top, blasphemy against what Jamie Foxx says is Lord and Savior. Ebola, Obama, halt flights from hot zones now. You want to get a campaign? So even if they let this spread, if this got big enough, they might back off and do something about Ebola. Or Obola, excuse me. Because, again, they want to just do this and not have us pay attention. You heard Michael Savage saying Ebola could be the way to bring them down. Stuff like this can capture people's attention. Get involved. Get this out to everybody you know right now. And, again, we'll take this live video, what I'm talking about here on the radio. We'll edit it down today, have it on the Nightly News, put that out as a viral video over the weekend to Infowars.com. Help stop the spread of Ebola, or Ebola as it's also known. This is how we counter their tyranny. So get these posters, get them out. Don't procrastinate. You can win the contest, but regardless, you win by taking action. Dr. Group, what do you think of this contest?
Well, I think it's a great contest. I think as many people, that listen to the show should get involved in it. And it's just like that's what we do every single day is answer questions about and tell people how to get involved at, stopping this. I agree with Michael Savage, actually, because, this could be the takedown of the globalists. Look at the military they're sending in. What surprises me is that the military personnel they sent in to Africa did so with no resistance. Well, we
don't even know that. They wouldn't tell us.
Yeah, if I was in the military and they tried to send me into a hot Ebola zone, I don't know if I would.
And you were in Army Special Operations. You would have said no?
Well, I was pretty brainwashed back then, so I don't know what I would have done, but I would definitely say no now, that's for sure. I get military personnel calling me all the time saying that, that have problems. I've got a guy in Houston that's breaking out in all these weird rashes and all kinds of stuff.
Oh, yeah, they use them as guinea pigs.
So yeah, I would, get as many people that can get involved and start telling people the truth about Ebola and what's going on.
I almost don't even want to offer money in the contest, but that makes it fun. This isn't fun, it's war. In fact, I'm going to go out Monday, or maybe even today, and I'm going to hang up a bunch of these posters around town, as a promo video for this. But it's about you taking action and tying the president who's leaving the borders open and letting the flights come in to the Ebola. So they get the blame. They may back off if they see that you're giving pushback. But if we lay there like jellyfish, they'll walk all over us. New story up at Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. CDC mandates hermetically sealed caskets for Ebola victims. Revelation follows report of CDC storing thousands of airtight coffin liners in Georgia. The CDC has instructed funeral homes to bury Ebola victims in hermetically sealed caskets. That's what we told folks 5 years ago. A potentially disturbing revelation given reports the federal agency had previously purchased thousands of airtight coffin liners, which were being stored in Madison, Georgia, outside Atlanta. Yahoo News report reveals how the CDC is instructing funeral homes that remains should be cremated or buried promptly in a hermetically sealed casket, which must be secure against the escape of microorganisms and have valid documentation for being airtight. Dallas Institute of Funeral Services Administrator Wayne Cavender said the CDC is worried about an epidemic, but the type of caskets they were recommending were not airtight. These in Georgia are, ladies and gentlemen, and you've got more from your sources. They're calling them a cremation box, right?
They're calling them multifunctional cremation containers, and there's actually a patent on that. You can probably bring it up. There was I can't remember what year it was patented in. I think it was in the 70s.
There it is, multifunctional cremation container and for cadaver, and it breaks it down, U.S. patent number 08/069,980, 1995.
Yeah, the thing with Ebola patients is whenever they start getting close to death, though, it's the violent diarrhea, the violent vomiting, and the
violent Rachel Maddow. We don't talk about bloody diarrhea. It's called a Rachel Maddow. They have violent Rachel Maddow.
Right. So, if you think about really how to contain it, it would be almost to the point where you would have, before the patients get to the point where they're uncontrollably bleeding.
Before they go to uncontrollable Michael Moore.
They really need to be killed, before, this is what they're saying is they need to be put in some sort of a casket or possibly quarantined or in some sort of a room with other people, because that's when it really becomes a problem, is towards the end when they're losing body fluids everywhere. So, the reports...
Hey, they say let everybody in. How about we send all the Ebola patients to the White House?
Well, there you go. I mean, who knows what the White House is? Obviously, the White House isn't doing anything. I mean, Obama's holding meetings with all the African leaders and everything right now, or up at Martha's Vineyard for a long time. It's just like they don't care what's going on. Obviously, they're not out there talking about it. And the organizations that are supposed to be holding the quarantines and helping people out aren't doing anything about it. It's all about fast tracking vaccines and having something ready by the first of the year. So I mean, the predictions. I mean, they're predicting that in January there could be over 1 million cases of Ebola.
1.4, yeah.
1.4 million cases. So it's just more of a reason to start taking responsibility for your own health, start cleaning yourself out,
I totally agree. Let's go to calls now. I've been hogging the time here, ladies and gentlemen. Real fast, ask your other questions, Peter from Washington.
Okay, this product, I won't tell the brand, is Mitochondria Energy Optimizer, and they keep bringing in new ingredients. The question I have, they do have BioPQQ there. Is 10 mgs enough daily?
Well, yes. I mean, what we've done with the DNA Force is we've taken we've already done 15 years of research on what the best graceful aging supplements are, stuff that are going to protect the root cause of aging. See, companies out there are, you might be addressing one thing, you might be addressing another thing, but what we're doing is addressing why the telomeres are shortening, why the cells are replicating faster than normal. And all that is due to too many toxic chemicals that are surrounding the cell, and the extracellular fluid or chemicals that are getting inside the cell. So our approach is, and we have the BioPQQ and the DNA Force, is to address the root cause of cellular damage. And the root cause of cellular damage is too many chemicals and too many free radicals, and that's why the antioxidant levels are there. That's why BioPQQ has been proven in clinical trials to help stimulate nerve growth factor.
That's why myself and others, if you have damaged nerves, my torn Achilles, a hand that's been broken, a finger that's been chopped off, I noticed when I started taking it, those areas got numb, and then the feeling came back more. And then in my Achilles, it's now like electrical, and some of the feeling came back, but it's frankly quite weird and scares some people, and I get why. This is psychoactive. This is real nutraceutical. I mean, we spend hundreds of thousands of dollars just to get the stuff that goes in it. They have to sign deals with Mitsubishi and everything. I mean, this is not a game. This is the real deal.
It's the real deal, and I don't know what product you're talking about, but I mean, it's not about just one ingredient either. It's about combining 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 proven ingredients that all work together.
CoQ10,
trans resveratrol. I mean, look, there's probably 20 different types of resveratrol out there, but there's only one 99% pure trans resveratrol.
It's like our BioPQQ and all this. This is organic. This is the manufactured America source.
Right. I mean, this is all of the ingredients that go into this product. DNA Force especially have years and years of clinical studies and research behind them. So those
are all linked on InfoWarsLife.com. In fact, to be technical, people should go there and read what's patented, what we are allowed to say. No, other people aren't allowed to say this because they don't have this stuff. This is real stuff. Thank you so much. We got to move quicker through the calls, folks. Chris in Mass, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to advocate some of the products that have really worked for me. I'm a professional musician. I sing and play guitar and gig out all the time. And since you had Dr. Wallach on the show and some of the longevity products like Tangy Tangerine, I haven't had a cold in like 2 years. And it's just tremendously helped me. Not only that, I used to get heartburn, acid reflux all the time, and through listening to Dr. Wallach and using digestive enzymes, probiotics, and now the Oxy powder has really pretty much cured that for myself. So
it's real simple. Wallach and the organic Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 from InfoWarsHealth.com. He's saying you need 90 things, trace elements and minerals and vitamins. Well, the government's saying only a few, like we're a plant or something. And so, of course, stuff like that is just so incredibly it's been life-changing for me.
That the iodine, to give you a funny story, I used to have ever since I started taking the iodine, I had this I play guitar, and used to have this embarrassing wart on my middle finger that I could not get rid of, whether I try to freeze it off or whatever. And since I started taking the iodine, the thing just magically disappeared. I mean, my immune system is just so much better.
Well, look, I mean, I'm no doctor or scientist, but from all the literature I've read, it's simple. If there's basic deficiencies, if you don't have oxygen, you die. If you don't have vitamin C, you get scurvy and die. If you don't have iodine, you will die. And they just keep lowering the level of what you need until someday, I guess the FDA will say 0, and it'll be a thought crime if you say you need it. And this is not rocket science, what we promote here. We just promote what we believe is the purest, most powerful, ancient source, crystal source, when everything else is seaweed source. Look, the other stuff that and it's great, doesn't turn into a gas in a Petri dish on a hot plate. The stuff we use is so pure, it's not called aerosolizing. What's it called when something gases?
It's called sublimation.
Yes. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, it looks like a purple ghost or something. I mean, this stuff just goes into your body. I mean, I don't want to go into details here, but what came out of my skin? I mean, I wasn't tanning before. I was just burning. Now I get really good tans, less sun. And now it doesn't happen anymore because I guess I've detoxed. Stuff just poured out of my skin.
Well, iodine's used for every single cell in the body, and it's, it's your skin, your endocrine system, your neurological system, any type of cysts. It's, when you take away, the big thing is with extra iodine is it blocks the absorption of the harmful halogens like chlorine, fluoride, and bromine. So really what you're doing is hopefully,
So you're not just getting what you need, you're blocking the bad stuff.
Exactly. I mean, hopefully everybody's learned enough by listening to your show to avoid fluoridated water. Sometimes you can't, though. I mean, look, all the drinks out there, too, the colas and stuff, those are all made with fluoridated water. There's so many other sources.
A lot of foods have it added.
Chlorine is out there, the bromine is out there, and breads. I mean, if you eat at a restaurant, you're going to get fluoridated water. Look, go to any coffee shop in the United States right now. I'm not saying any names, but the most popular ones. They use tap water to brew all their coffee. So when you go in for your latte or whatever, your venti or your, whatever, all you're doing is, number one, you're taking the coffee beans, which are heavily sprayed by pesticides. And so you're getting pesticides, and then you're getting the tap water in your system. So by you taking the proactive approach of doing this is what we're trying to get all, people to do. Take a proactive approach.
Listen, I set about to find out what is the hiding in plain view, most powerful stuff that they don't want people to know about and understand, but that the elite are taking. And that's what InfoWarsLife.com products are about. 888-253-3139. And, a couple times a month we cover news, but also cover some of these products in depth, because that's how we're funding the whole platform to promote Rand Paul and to promote the Second Amendment and to promote controlling our borders and to promote sovereignty and to promote free market. We're sharing with you things that we really believe in and are powerful. I'm going to do a segment of Overdrive, too, because I want to get to everybody. Evan, Lucy, Carolyn, John, and others. We got Carolyn's a retired nurse. We got John on high fructose corn syrup. Lucy wants to know about Dr. Group and natural ideas. Evan's up next, has a question on Ebola. I'm glad, because that's mainly what I meant when I opened the phones up for everybody's talking about the products. That was not intentional. But thank you for the nice reviews, callers. InfoWarsLife.com. Really changed my life.
Hi, Alex. First-time caller. I just want to say I appreciate your show very much.
Appreciate you.
I am less afraid of Ebola. I am more afraid of the government response to Ebola.
I agree.
And kicking down our doors and hauling us off to the FEMA camps, by the way, of which I just discovered or heard that we have another FEMA camp that I was unaware of just south of Phoenix here, and we have a lot of FEMA camps here in Arizona. So that is scary. And by the way, when I spoke to a couple federal agents over the weekend, and they get it. Most of the people I talk about, I tell them we're living in pre-Nazi Germany, or pre-World War II Germany.
Well, that's the thing. I'm always, over the years, bashing the feds and people, and never really the military, but they were training them to take us on. But it was that training that woke them up. Cops, feds, and the military going in the order of military, cops, and then feds. Feds not so much. They're more brainwashed and on power trips. But a lot of them, compared to the public, they're more awake. Dr. Group, isn't that exciting?
Listen, when all of the, the high-level federal agents and even people in Parliament and the royal family in Europe, they all know, and I know because some of them call me. I actually had people in the royal family fly to my office that had cancer under strict confidentiality to get treated. To do the stuff that we were doing when we had before our cancer clinic got raided.
Well, that even leaked out in the news later down in Houston. I remember.
Yeah, it did, and I mean, you could pull up the cases, the FDA that have tried to, attack me.
What's on record that Hollywood stars plug your oxy powder?
Right.
I mean, you're big. You're a successful